Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about potty training your child. Okay, first of all, you want to know how old should your child be when you go to potty train them. And you can look this up on the internet. What age should a child be potty trained? And it says potty training success hinges on physical, developmental, and behavioral milestones, not age. Many children show signs of being ready for potty training between ages 18 and 24 months, while others might not be ready until they're 3 years old. So your child has to be able to tell you that they have to go potty. If your child can't say, hey, I have to go potty, they're not going to be ready to potty train. That is for certain. And there's another thing, you're going to want to keep a journal, I don't know, a potty training journal. So before you start potty training your child, see it says document daily potty training progress, but before that, you want to write down what time of the day do they go to the bathroom, what time do they go pee, what time do they go poo. And you want to keep that journal more than just a few days because you want to know about what time they go. And hopefully you have meals about the same time every day and there's snacks and everything. So hopefully you have them on a regularly set, normal time. So that's important, and it's also important to know that they can communicate with you. Um, and potty training, you have to know that a child, all of their short life, they've always used the diaper, and whenever they needed to go pee or poop, they just went. They didn't hold it in and wait a while. They've just gone whenever they need to go. So their bladder's not real strong. So if they wet the bed or whatever, you got to be understanding. And you can't, I've heard people screaming at their children because they were wet in the bed and telling them they did it on purpose, or telling them if they couldn't go potty that they were going to put a diaper on them, and then cutting back on their beverages to make their bladder even more weak and things like that. Because back in the day, people didn't know any better. They didn't have YouTube videos, and they didn't have, but two or three channels on the TV. So a lot of people didn't have these kinds of skills, but now they do. Now you know, if you're potty training your child, the best way to do it is to make it fun, be encouraging. Give them a book to read, or sit there and read to them and sit there and spend time with them. And don't make them sit there all day, but if you know this is about the time they go, you can sit there for a little bit. And if it's a boy and you have a bigger boy to teach him, all the better, right? And so, and if you teach them one day they go potty in the toilet and the next day they pee their pants, don't go crazy and start screaming at them. You have to understand this is a child and they've been peeing in the diaper whenever they needed to go. So, and they, like I said, and if they pee the bed, even if they pee the bed a year or two from now and they haven't ever peed the bed before, you have to realize their bladder may not be as strong as it could be. One of the things that I learned back in the 80s was if your child starts peeing the bed and they haven't been potty trained for a long time, but maybe a year or so, and one of the things you could do is not give them don't give them a whole lot where it's unhealthy, but give them a little bit more to drink before noon during the day, and let them play, and don't remind them to go to the bathroom so that they hold it. And that way their bladder gets a little bit stronger. But you want to check with your doctor before you do that. But I've seen people wake up their child. My son started wet in the bed. I don't remember how old he was. He might have been 4 or something like that. He might have even been 6. I don't know. But he started wet in the bed, and the daycare center wanted to wake him up in the middle of the night to make him go potty, and they had started doing that. And I was like, no, I'm taking off work, and I will fix this and bring him back, because they didn't like my idea. And I told them, I'll have this fixed, within a week or two. So I took him home and I gave him more to drink before noon and didn't remind him and let him play and let him have fun. And poof, he was not wetting the bed anymore. That was it. He never wet the bed again. So, and Sometimes I think one of my daughters may have peed the bed once and then never did it again. But always check with your doctor. I am not a doctor. I am not a physician. This is just what I learned, and this was back in the 80s. So I don't know what they teach people now, but when I was a child, it wasn't the same. They were doing different things. They were, like I said, waking them up in the middle of the night, and I knew someone who got a concussion because somebody woke them up in the middle of the night trying to make him go to the bathroom. You want you want to have like see the books and the games and stuff like that. And then the boys. I remember when I was younger, I got a drawer out of the kitchen and I took the little drawer. It was a wooden drawer, and I turned it upside down and put it in front of the toilet so my son could stand on the upside down drawer to go to the bathroom if he had to pee. But you can't do that if you go out in public. I don't know how you're going to do it. We had a van. We bought a van, and so when I potty trained the girls, I put a potty seat in the van and took it with us so that nobody could see them. And then if they had to use the bathroom, they had a potty seat that was their size in the van. But some people can't afford a potty seat. You have to be careful. And there's germs on the toilet. So I don't know if you take little wipies with you and wipe down the toilet and put paper on the seat, or if you put paper on the seat or what you do. But you have to be careful, and you know, it's just, and then you have to decide. You have, I would take them. They say take them shopping and let them pick out their new big girl, big boy underwear so that they have underwear that they like and that fit them and that are comfortable. And you'll see this one says no pull-ups, no training pants. We didn't use those when I was younger. I think it took me less than 2 weeks to potty train my oldest son. It didn't take no time at all. And then and I would lift him up in the air and say, "Oh wow, you did such a good job." And then I remember he peed his pants one time, and I was like, "Oh no, you didn't mean to do that. You're a big boy. That bad old pee just snuck right out. You wanted to go pee so bad." So then he takes me in the bathroom and has me sit in the bathroom for half an hour trying to pee after he just went, because he's trying to show me he's a big boy, you know. But you don't want to yell and scream at him. And if you potty train your child, and then you want to go places and do things, and it's easier for you to put a diaper on them so that you can go and do things after you potty train them, then you got to potty train them all over again, and it's not going to be as easy as it was the first time. It's going to take you a lot longer. So if you do stuff like that, you're probably going to spend months potty train your child, whereas it doesn't take long at all. It might only take a couple of weeks or whatever, or even less. It just depends on the child. And some children may take longer than that, but you have to be nice and encouraging. And some of these web pages, they say to the first day, maybe have your child be bare bottomed or something like that. Let's read some of the stuff they have. And I don't think I did that, but we didn't buy diapers. We put a plastic cover over the mattress and just washed the sheets out and changed them. I probably washed them out back then because I didn't have an apartment with a washer and dryer, and I couldn't afford to just run to the laundromat. But it says, is your child ready? Before deciding to take the leap and potty train, you should get your child familiar with using the toilet. I don't know. I wouldn't. I would use a book. I never went to the bathroom in front of my children. If I had to use the bathroom, they would have to turn around and not look. And if they had to use the bathroom and I'm in there with them, I would turn around and not look and things like that. But oh, I remember saying pee on the bug if even if there wasn't a bug in the toilet, just, I don't know. You can make it fun. And they have books, they have videos. So this says give your child a big glass of water or juice. To me, I wouldn't do that. I like the having a sippy cup near if your child's thirsty and asking them if they're thirsty, but you don't want to force them to drink a lot. Even if they start wetting the bed, you don't want them to, you want them to drink more before noon, but like I said, you don't want to force them to drink a whole lot. Like I said, talk to your doctor. tell your doctor the ideas that you found on the internet and ask them your child's doctor. Ask them what they think. They might have ideas because my ideas come back from in the 80s and your doctor knows more than I do. So these are just ideas that I have. Always discuss things with your doctor. So it's just, and there's ideas all over the internet. So some people stay inside all 3 days. Other people choose to venture outside. Now, I'm not going to, if you live in the woods somewhere and there's not people around, and a playground's a good idea, but you want to make sure your child's not going to be embarrassed. So, but that's especially a good idea if they're older and they start wetting the bed. You take them to the playground, they're playing, they're having fun. Like I said, don't take them in front of people where they're going to be embarrassed in front of those people that they peed their pants and those people are going to make fun of them. But you want them to be able to play and do things and have fun so that when you first potty train them, you want to remind them and take them to the bathroom. But after they start wetting the bed, you want to make sure they play and have fun. And that way they hold it in for a little bit, because things happen. And you don't want to scold them for it. You don't want to be mean to them, and there's tips and tricks on the end. It says bring multiple changes of clothing and underwear when you go out. Have your child use the toilet before leaving home and immediately upon arriving on their destination. And this is when you first potty train them. This isn't like if they're bedwetting. They're two different things. And tell your teachers, your daycare providers, nannies, and babysitters when he or she needs to use potty, what language you use at home and what words you use. Like, do you have to go potty, see, and then poop or pee and tinkle or words like that, or number one, number two. So, and yeah, being without a diaper, it may be not only scary for the children, it may be scary for you. I remember back in the day people saying, oh, I'm going to take a diaper with me, and then lo and behold, they're potty training their children forever, and it shouldn't take that long. And it's kind of, you have a child, you don't want to make it forever and drag it out. And you don't have to buy diapers anymore. This one says you may happily notice that you're changing fewer diapers lately, and your little one is usually staying dry during nap time. I had never heard that. And this one says the key to potty training success is patience and awareness. So, and different strategies work for different children, and there's some tips to get the job done. So this one gives you different tips and tricks. Your child notices and doesn't like dirty diapers. Well, if your child's doing that, you would think they're pretty ready to go to the bathroom. So, like I said, we took with the girls, we took a little potty seat, and we had a van, so because they couldn't go outside like a boy, And with my oldest son, he would go, and my younger son was like 4 years younger than him, and he just started going. I didn't even have to potty train him. One day, my oldest son's like, he peed in my shoe, and I was like, what? And he was always used to wearing a diaper, and I was like, what? And I'm not going to scream and yell at him. What am I going to do? So I told him, took him to the bathroom, told him, here, show him to use the toilet, not your shoes. So then he started using the bathroom, and then when he had to go poop, he just went in the bathroom. And he was little. He was only like 2 or 3 years old, but he was harder for me to teach him how to read, but when it's time to be potty trained, poof, he just did it. And it was probably from having an older brother around. So, and this one has 23 potty training tips for boys and girls from Pampers. And it talks about big kid underwear as a sign of encouragement. And if you can afford a potty, get your child, buy a potty seat for him. But I taught my son to stand up, and I had a friend that taught their son to sit up and then stand up, or stand up and then later changed it. So it's up to you, but it's it's a process, and there's so much. They have all these potty training books. I like the little bear on the little potty. That is so cute, you know. And I in the 80s we would pick up the kids, swing them around, and say, "Oh, what a good job you did," or give them M&Ms. And I don't know about the M&Ms being such a good idea. I'm sure now they have better ideas, you know. But and once you potty train your child and your child's potty trained, you know, maybe give them some kind of reward for doing such a good job. I don't know what the reward would be. That would be up to you to choose. But, you know, they've covered a milestone and they've learned how to do it. And this is cute. But, you know, you're going to have to deal with changes. You're going to have to deal with taking him to the bathroom now. And it's going to be, it might be harder on you than changing their diapers. So you need to be ready for that. Here's a potty training chart on the internet. I mean, you could draw this out or print it out. This is great. You could probably put little stars on it as a reward. Oh, look, I went potty by myself, you know, because one day they may do it, and then the next day they may not, and then the next day they might. So, but good luck to you, and I hope that you don't have any problems doing it. It's basic, simple stuff. You know, one child might take 3 days, and one child might take a month, but usually once they go poop in the toilet, that's it. They're usually peeing and pooping. You don't have any problems. And if you have questions, consult your physician. And I so much appreciate people who tune in and watch my channel. And I hope that I help somebody. Maybe this was information that you didn't know, never heard of. Maybe you never even read it in a book. And I hope that it helped you. But most of it, I'm sure you've probably heard by now. But thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Peace out. Bye-bye.